So this hive, I'm gonna go oven up because I gotta work fast. We're running out of daylight. So when you don't have time to go slow, you're gonna be bumping bees and stuff. I've already smoked them down. This was a full candy board, so you can see that it went the entire winter and ate this candy board. So it lasted pretty good. That's about where you want to see them when they're done. And if I would leave this long there much longer, they'd be building comb in it. So it's a good time right now. If you notice, we have bees in every single seam here. This box looks jammed from one side to the other, thick with bees. So if I pull this off, it's very heavy and lots of brood. You can see that they're building drone comb in between the boxes, very common. Nice thing about this is when the boxes pull it apart, kind of get the bees off it, and you can look inside this drone comb and see if there's any mites. You can usually see them very well because of these white bodies, and the mites are usually red or little black specks on them. So this is kind of an opportunity to look. They'll cannibalize all this that we just busted open. You can see that, the bees right here are already cannibalizing it. See it? Tip of my hive tool there. Which is good for them. It's protein. But breaking the boxes apart like this and seeing the drones, you get a quick glimpse, short of a mite wash, which we still want to do. But if you don't see any mites, and I don't see a single mite, and normally the mites do favor the drone cells. You could, on a mite-ridden hive, I've seen 5 mites in the same cell. So really nice pearly white, clear drone brood. So it's a good sign. All right, so I overwintered this one with 2 deeps and a medium, and they look pretty thick down at the bottom too. So they're already kind of moving down. I'm just going to take a quick look at the bottom board here, see how dirty it may be. Nice and dirty. So I will. The bees want to clean this, okay? And over the winter, they can't keep up on it. So we're doing them a favor by cleaning off the bottom board for them, and they do a pretty good job of taking care of it for the rest of the season. Okay. This is the sugar that's falling down in here. I see that it looks like I might have a mouse nest underneath on the bottom board, so I am going to kind of pull this up and clean it out. Well, I'm glad it was on the bottom board rather than in the hive. Clean bottom board. Throw this back. Actually, since I got it off, I can feel this box is really light. So I am going to do the hive switch. I'm going to pull a frame and make sure there's no brood in there. I'm pretty sure there's not. But this is the box with all the action. So I am going to put this, and actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my medium on the bottom for right now, because this thing's really jammed with brood. And I don't want to separate the 2 brood boxes. So normally I would have had the full box on the bottom, this empty or deep on top of it, and then the medium. And really this medium's full of brood, just as much as this deep. So I'm going to keep them together here, like such. And then if I can find the queen, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I'm going to pull a couple frames here. Where's my just taking a gander for eggs, queen. This is mostly pollen on this frame. I do see eggs on this back frame. So there is a queen. I don't need to find her at this point, but if I do, just a queen cup, no eggs in it. Cap brood here, so we have lots of varying aged larvae in the hive, looking good. And I can just see these frames they're just packed with open, mixed brood. There's a mostly capped side. Same with this other side, all capped. So this hive is going to be exploding soon. I'm going to put probably 2 mediums on top of this. I really got to give them some room, and arguably, here's the queen right here, red dot. Looks good, nice and long. And you can see she's hunting for a cell to lay in. Give her just a minute. She might actually tuck into one. It's a little smoky out here, so maybe not. Oh, she just put her head down there. Let's see. No. See, she'll put her head down in a cell and kind of look at it. See if there's an egg in there. See if it's clean enough, ready to go. So, well, only because we're running out of daylight. She's going on the other side, so I'm going to put them back. I want to put her back and be real careful. I'm not even going to go any further. Lots of everything. This hive looks great. Couldn't be happier. So I'm going to just put it back together. Get some space on this. So I left that medium on the bottom that has full of brood. And ideally they'll come up. On my next inspection here, I'll get back down there and pull that off. And maybe I'll put it on top with a queen excluder. But basically that's what you're doing. If you overwinter your hives with mediums on top, you're bound to have brood in it come spring. So you're basically chasing the bees out of that, chasing the brood out of it and getting that thing back ready to be a honey super. So I'm gonna go ahead and put pie and patty in here. And I like to have the bees again on the bottom and the top of these pollen patties to guard them from beetles. I kind of break them up into smaller chunks just so that there's, again, these beetles, they'll lay eggs in these pollen patties and it can be crazy. So I've already put some pollen in here and they've consumed it. And I just put like a little quarter size in. And if I come back and it's gone, I know they're taking it. So then I'll put some more in. So right now, since they're in the build up, I'm just making it into smaller pieces and putting this across the top front of this hive. Then I'm going to put this deep on it. This deep's pretty light. This is my empty one. So now I've got the empty deep above the 2 with brood in it. They're going to move up into here, hopefully. I'll come back and get this medium off the bottom and put both these boxes down. But right now, because I see this hive's really about to go, I'm going to put another medium on top for now. And this is a medium of all drawn comb. So it's ready for them to fill with honey. I run 9 frames because I like the bees to be able to draw them out a little further. Makes it easy to uncap. And that hive's good for now. This would be an example of a hive that I would not bother feeding sugar water. It's doing great on its own. Of the many hives that I have, there are some that are going to need to be fed, and I'm just going to save the sugar water for them. I don't want it get too expensive either. I don't put the candy board on, that's going to go home. So that's pretty much the approach. You kind of break the hive down to the bottom, clean off the bottom, and then decide where you're going to situate the brood. I like the brood as low in the box as possible and space to move up. And the season's moving quick, so they're really building up fast. This is going to be a great hive. And we move on to the next. So look out the entrance there. See no bees coming in and out. So that means it's getting kind of late, it's getting kind of cool. So I'm going to turn off the camera and we're going to work through these two quicker.